Good morning, everyone. I would just like to take a moment and give a moment of silence for every soldier around the world. Anyone that has defended their country, their state, their home, please, for just a moment, let us have a moment of silence. Thank you. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief with Pop Culture Therapy. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today is the Battle Angel Eris of Chaos. How is everyone doing this morning? That guy says, good morning, Katie Star. Good morning, LDG Pixels. How you doing, brother? Josh and Rebecca. Mommy. Samantha Joe, one of the Valkyries, is here. Good morning, Samantha Joe. Mark the Infinitely Tired, Mountains of Elysium, Kathia Star, Crimson Mist, Ajiga Outlaw. Hashtag Adiga Ferrero. Captain Shrek. Darth Haster, good morning, sir. Bird of Prey 5, Kapla, Bird of Prey, Kapla, brothers. Sit room, good morning. Lori Roberts, the Destructor. She is here, folks. Mexican Iron Man cannot be far behind. Psycho Dwarf 9, good morning. Good morning, Purple Lady. The other Valkyrie is here. Psycho Dwarf 9. I already said Psycho Dwarf 9, didn't I? I'm starting to go back over my own stuff. Mark the Infinitely Tired. How are you doing, man? Mark the Infinitely Tired was not infinitely tired this weekend. He was Mark the semi-rested this weekend.
Mm-hmm. I'm proud of him. He actually got some sleep.
Yes, he did. Jeff Franklin, good morning. Good morning, Jeff Franklin. And to all the usual suspects, good morning. How is everybody doing on this fine morning? They Rambling Canuck, good morning, brother. Darth Monkey Orath, good morning. Baby Yoda, hello from the Loki's Mornings of Mischief show, sir. Dave G Sound, good morning. How are you doing, brother? Chef Zilla's cooking in the kitchen, getting everybody breakfast. So, how are you doing, Battle Angel?
I'm doing good. And good morning to everyone in the chat. I know I didn't type anyone out this morning, but first time on camera on the live stream, kind of something.
And you have a channel coming up, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. What are you going to do your show about? Pop culture, games, what?
Probably. As of right now, pop culture. It might lean into other things. I might explore other things, but right now it's pop culture. Kind of what I love. Kind of what I'm passionate about. And I might bring other things into it later, but that's what it is right now. And I know, Lori, that we have too many people doing pop culture stuff. I understand. I know. But I need to get off the ground first before I can actually know what I'm doing. So, and I'm sorry. I know. I always know what I'm doing. My bad. I'm sorry.
So, guys, today we are here to talk about the huge news that broke about the Snyder Cut and the fact that Warner Brothers is going to release the Snyder Cut on a new HBO platform.
HBO Max, yes, in 2021, if I remember correct. Well, I've seen like 5,000 tweets, so I'm pretty sure that's the date. I don't know. I could be wrong.
And this is a big win for fans. You know, when I went to the theater like opening night to see this, it was weird. There's this little bit of silver that shows up in Superman's shield, and it's off. It throws everything off. It doesn't look right. You can tell that, you know, something different, and it's even more pronounced when I got the 4K version of the film.
Right.
It's even more pronounced. You can see it even clearer, and it reminded me of Green Lantern. How they animated the suit in Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Let's talk Star Trek. Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning, sir? So they obviously mess with some things, but I want to kind of go back to the beginning of this. Guys, when the film was in post-production, Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide. And he's talked about how he thought, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do, and I can understand that, having lost a family member, you think, what would they want me to do? What would they want me to do? And work can be a blessing. When you put everything into work and you're working on something and you're throwing everything you have into it, work can be a blessing. And maybe he thought, well, I can do this. I can just throw myself into this movie, into producing this film. But eventually he realized, he said, I just don't care. This is the least thing I care about, but it's consuming all of my time and all of my thoughts and resources. And I just don't care about it. And they handed the film off to Joss Whedon, and Snyder and his wife removed themselves from the project. I think she was a producer. I don't
know, honestly.
I'd have to go back and look.
Chat, help. I mean, I guess I could Google.
Anyway, I'm sure she was something like a producer. It's not that important. So they remove themselves from the production. Joss Whedon comes in, and then reshoots happen, and they start messing with the script, and they start messing with the story, and they have to bring back Henry Cavill to do some scenes, and I think he had a mustache or a goatee or something.
Yeah, it was a film he was shooting at that time, and and in his contract he wasn't allowed to shave it, and so that's why he didn't shave it. It wasn't like he refused to, like, straight up. But, you know, it's just he couldn't, and so then the awful CGI that was his upper lip was born.
Yeah, and you could tell.
It's awful.
And I'd like to welcome Mexican Iron Man to the show. He says, live from the caves of Valhalla, it's Mexican Iron Man in the waterfall showers. Sexy time. Great. So you got a fat man in a fat Iron Man in a Mexican Iron Man thong in the waterfall showers.
Well, are we assuming he's wearing his thong? Because, like, wouldn't it interact badly with water? I'm just saying. That's a mystery. We'll never know.
Oh, it could fry. That's right.
Yeah, that'd be really sexy time. We're like frying time.
Next Iron Man, you will have to tell us what's up with the Mexican Iron Man thong, brother.
Oh, Psycho Dwarf says Affleck wasn't in shape. Was he not? Oh, when he came back for reshoots, did Affleck have to come back too?
Apparently. Psycho Dwarf, clarify, brother. Let us know. Oh shit, be nice. I'm working out these days. Nice. Yeah. I just started working on my shoulder again, thanks to our wonderful friend Adiga Outlaw. And I'm gonna start doing some other things too. So
always good to get in shape.
Oh yeah. He is in the Shia LaBeouf.
He is in Shia LaBeouf. What?
The Shia LaBeouf?
Wait. Wait.
I don't want to know.
There's a lot more questions. I've just been okay. Nope. All right, moving on. Psychodor says for the reshoots.
For the reshoots.
So they brought him back for the reshoots. I didn't know that.
Well, I know Cavill was pissed and didn't want to do it. Cavill was absolutely pissed and didn't want to do it.
I think he wanted to. Didn't he want to quit Superman after that? Because he got really, really angry at it.
Yep. He got really, really pissed at him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they changed a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been waiting for over 20 years to see that black and silver Superman suit on screen. That was a huge thing. I was a teenager when, and I wasn't into DC at the time, guys. I abandoned DC in the late 90s. I abandoned the comics anyway. I love the animated series, the Batman and the Superman animated series, but I was a huge Marvel fan. So it was all Wolverine and Beast and Storm and all that shit in Marvel that I was loving at the time. And if you'd asked me, well, how do you feel about Superman? I'd have told you, well, I grew up with Superman, but he's just a big ass Boy Scout, and it's not like anything's ever going to hurt him anyway. And then I hear one day, dude, he's dead. I'm like, who's dead? Superman. What? Yeah, they killed fucking Superman. No, this big bastard Doomsday came in, fucked up the whole Justice League, and at the end, Superman fought him to death, and he killed him. No. Yes. And I went to the comic shop, and I asked the guy at the comic shop, I was like, okay, I keep hearing this shit, Superman's dead. Yeah. I want the comic. And he had 2 left, and they were in the black wrapper with the bleeding S shield. And I got both of them. I think I paid an enormous amount for them too. I think it was like $20 a piece. Ooh. And because it was the last 2, and he was like, "No, I don't know if I want to sell them or not." And I was like, "Well, I'll pay, you bastard. I'll pay what you want." So I got them both, and I read it, and I was completely blown away. And eventually I was able to get a hold of the entire series that led up to that comic. And there's this kid in there, and he's like, well, Superman's just a big ass Boy Scout. And what's so special about Superman? I like this other hero because they're badass and they look badass and they act badass. And Superman's just a big Boy Scout. And then he dies, and that kid's at his funeral. And Funeral for a Friend was the mini series leading up to the return of Superman. And that kid's at the funeral, and he's crying. He's like, I never thought he'd die. And I was like, holy shit, I'm the fucking kid in the comic. Yeah, Crimson Mist, 1993. So yeah, I'd have been 13 years old.
I actually have that comic book. Still in the wrapping. I haven't opened it. I have it though, with the black, and then has like the white on outline and the red bleeding S. Yeah.
Yeah, the white outline. Ooh. Nobody ever remembers that. It's got the white outline on top and on the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I have it. I would go get it, but then I'd have to get up, and I don't want to.
So I know we went like way off topic there, but guys, so he did. So of course, Superman dies in Batman versus Superman at the end.
Yep.
Number 1 sci-fi. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And I mean, if I'll check it out, but I really don't want. They just did a Battlestar Galactica remake. They just did that. So it's like yesterday we had BSG. It's not time for another fucking reboot.
I mean, that won't stop them.
Stories by Irish. Oh boy, 93. I was 7, I think. Crimson Mist. I was in college at the time and bought the issue in the black wrapper. Yeah. Yep. It's not a reboot. It's an offshoot of the story.
Well, I mean, technically Discovery is...
That's almost as bad.
It's like...
That's like Bones in the first TNG episode where he's looking at Data and he's like, I don't see no pointed ears on you, boy, but you sound like a Vulcan. I'm an
I
android.
love that.
Almost as bad.
Almost, yeah. I love that. Because I love bones.
So they bring Joss Whedon in.
Yes.
And he redoes large aspects of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing reshoots. He's doing edits. He's changing the script. He's changing part of the plot points. He changes what villain we're going to get at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Doomsday, right?
It was Doomsday was in Batman vs Superman. It was
No,
supposed to be
Dark Side. Dark Side. Yeah, my bad. Whoops.
Some people say Dark Side. Some people say Dark Seed. It's Dark Side.
No, it's Dark Side. Don't.
Happy Dinosaur 8000. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I hated Steppenwolf.
Yeah,
I thought he felt not even one-dimensional. He was like half a dimension because it was like, why are you doing this? Evil. For evil's sake. It's like, okay. Well, I mean, that can be interesting for a villain, but you have to make me interested in the villain first in order for that to happen. Oh, it's supposed to be 2 movies.
Yep.
You know what? That actually makes sense. You know, it felt, wasn't this arc, and especially like and actually not just Justice League, but in Batman vs Superman 2, it feels rushed. Like there's a whole like mini series, like a whole 2 seasons of TV that you stuffed into a 2.5-hour movie, and you're just kind of sort of, if you don't know the characters, it's just like you're just being jerked around, like just whipped around, like, you know, okay, we got to establish this so that we can get this payoff. But it's like, but if you give me a payoff and there's no emotional build up to it, then it's not a payoff. I'm just kind of like, okay, make me care, you know, don't just like tell a story and want to get some cool shots and want, you know. One thing that I think the MCU did really, really well, they didn't start off with the Avengers, you know.
Yep.
They made me wait, and it was awesome.
Good morning, Lady Mist. And that is exactly right. That's one of the things I wanted to bring up. You had Iron Man. And of course, Iron Man started everything. But then you had Cap and you had Thor. And you had but you had little tie-ins too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Little tie-ins.
There's Easter eggs in there if you look hard enough.
Yep. And you've got Fury. You know, at the end, you've got Fury and Iron Man 2. He was supposed to be in the end of Iron Man. Mm-hmm. There's like a little cut scene of him at the end of Iron Man that they cut out. And if you have the Blu-ray or whatever, he's waiting at Stark's house when Stark gets back from the fight with Obadiah. Mm-hmm. And he talks to him for a minute, but they cut that out. You start getting things like the Hulk, Iron Man, Tony Stark and the Hulk at the very end. You get Fury coming in. You get what was his name? The Shield agent, Thompson?
Coulson. Yeah, Agent Coulson. Yeah.
Agent Coulson and Thor. And you get the idea more and more, okay, this is
it's a universe.
Connecting.
Yeah, it's a big universe. You got to world build, and that's the problem. The DCEU wanted what Marvel had without putting the effort into what Marvel did, you know, what Marvel had. Marvel, in my opinion, that MCU, that build up, especially to Avengers, was perfect. And even more like after that, I mean, there was a couple hiccups. But I think what we got, you know, if they would have ended it at Endgame, which I'm kind of wish they would have, instead of continuing on, you know, it was good. It was amazing. And DC got impatient, or Warner Bros. Really got impatient, and they wanted their Avengers immediately. And it's like, you know, now we're getting Aquaman's backstory after. They're kind of like, and then, you know, trying to figure out, we haven't even gotten a Batman movie. Yeah, I know. Fun. We haven't even gotten a Batman movie for this Batman. And I know everyone knows Batman's story, but it's a good establishing, you know, role. And to get a feel of who Ben Affleck's Batman's going to be. It's not just because. But.
Let's Talk Star Trek says Loki, it was not cut. It was the first of the post-credit scenes. I'm probably thinking about the extended cut of that cutscene
Maybe.
with Samuel L. Jackson. That might have been what I'm thinking. I knew they cut something. And I know it had to do with the meeting with Fury. So I think they cut part of it, and maybe that's what I was thinking of. But they put the time and the effort in to connect everything. They put the time and the effort in to connect everything in their universe, and then did the Avengers. And that was the most talked about superhero movie that had ever come out, because you had all of these people coming together.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Like when you think of, and one of the big indicators of a movie that's made an impact with its audience is you can remember the score. And I cannot remember the score of any other MCU character but the Avengers score. Like when you think of the MCU, you start thinking, the Avengers score. When they're all standing around that first time, back to back in the middle of New York. And that's what comes to my mind. No one, I don't even know what Iron Man's score was. I will just go ahead and say AC/DC for the sake of it. But his actual, score that was put together, no, I have no idea. And I love that movie. That's my favorite MCU movie. So.
Yeah, because anytime you think of Robert Downey Jr. and that suit, you think AC/DC. And they changed that. Yeah. I think they shouldn't have, because it was like once he retired in 3, you never hear that again. You hear it in Avengers. You hear it in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
You hear it in what was it? Of course, all the Iron Man movies. But besides that, after that, it's like, that's it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And Chef Zilla points out, they gave it time to grow with love and the characters. How did we all feel when Coulson was killed by Loki?
Yeah. Heart. That sucked. Oh, that sucked real hard. But, man, feels. The feels.
Yeah, and let's talk. Star Trek says, look at the fact that Coulson was a minor character, and then he becomes the push the Avengers needed after his death. Everyone was important.
Yeah, there was a reason.
Everyone.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like, can you name really anyone in the Justice League that,
was a minor character that
mattered?
Jim Gordon, but that's because I know Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon, minor character, but it's not like he did anything, important. So, what did he do that was important? Does anybody remember? I don't.
I actually forgot he was in the movie until you just mentioned it.
Well, I thought in one of the previews, you see the whole team disappear and the Flash is the only one left. And he's like, oh, they just left? That's rude. And then boom, he's gone. And Gordon's standing there by himself. And I thought that was funny. I was like, oh, this could be kind of funny too. That'll be cool.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. But it was just so, like, who cares? Yeah, even Lois Lane wasn't, like, I'm just remembering she was in the movie too. And she was, what'd she do? Just look sad.
Yep. She didn't do anything. She didn't do really anything in Batman vs. Superman either. She got held hostage at the beginning of the movie. That's all I can remember. Had something to do with the spear that killed Doomsday. And it wasn't even Doomsday. It was like Ninja Turtle Doomsday.
Yeah, that's why I keep I don't mentally think of him as Doomsday, because it's like, really? Like, you Doomsday, one of the bigger villains in the DC universe, and you went and just one-shotted him. Wonder Woman could have done that spear, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman cut his damn leg off or his hand off.
Yeah, right? The guy that that has problems with kryptonite. Maybe don't have him be the one to stab. Okay. Yeah.
Martha.
I can't take
Martha.
that name seriously. I'm sorry for anyone who has that name because I hear that name and I'm just like, why did you say that name?
And Chip Zill says Amy Adams' Lois Lane can't hold a candle to Margaret Kidder's Lois Lane.
Agreed.
That's true.
Agreed.
I think the Lois Lane in Smallville did a better job than Amy Adams' Lois Lane.
Never saw Smallville, so I'll take your word for it.
And they killed Jimmy Olsen like he was nothing. And
oh my God, they did.
There was a Jamie Olsen that worked at the Planet. There was a girl, Jamie, I think her name was Jamie Olsen or Jane Olsen, something like that, that worked at the Planet with Lois and Clark. And then you had Jimmy Olsen that had 2 seconds on screen and died. And what's funny is he played the same actor that played Jimmy Olsen in Batman vs. Superman is the same actor who played Lex Luthor's brother in Smallville. DC likes to use people they've used in other projects before. And that's one of the things I like about DC is you catch faces from past projects. You catch people coming back. You catch people that they'll reuse. And it's like, oh, well, these people are part of the WB family. That's great. That's awesome. I love that. That's what CBS used to do. Oh, you're a member of the Star Trek fucking family. Here, let's get you a role in this new series or this or that. They don't do that anymore. I'm not going to bash on Star Trek, though, this morning. I promise.
No. Even though one small thing I saw on my timeline this morning, apparently today's the fan version of Star Wars Day because it's May 25th.
Nice.
So I remember that. So
okay,
yay!
So I'm going to pull up IMDb real quick because I want to see the score for Justice League because I know I was disappointed.
I saw Justice League twice actually. So
I think I've seen it 3 times in total. Once in the theater and then twice after it came out on because I watched the 4K and I think I streamed it once and half-ass watched it.
Amy Adams looked like she was strung out in the movies. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. They're 100% right. Yeah.
Okay, so it's got a 45 on Metacritic, which is lower than halfway. It's lower than the 50 mark. Entertainment Weekly. Justice League is better than its joyless, somber dress rehearsal, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Now, but there was a but coming, right? Is also a pretty steep come down from the giddy high of Wonder Woman. Yeah,
Wonder Woman. I mean, I have a special love for Aquaman because I love Jason Momoa and I love James Wan as a director. So if I look at it objectively, it's not nearly as good as I want it to be, and my subjective heart. But Wonder Woman, I'd have to say, I think is still their strongest, even though the third act of Wonder Woman, very disappointing, put it that way. I didn't like who they chose for Eris. I was like,
oh my God, dude.
Whoa.
Smallville Superman was lame. He did nothing to stop the sex cult run by his best friend. Huh? What? That wasn't part of the show? Oh. No, Josh and Rebecca. That wasn't part of the show. That was what was going on in real life.
Josh and Rebecca, I think you're drinking too much rhino milk. I'm sorry. You do need to cut back.
But it's true. I mean, what happened with the girl who played Chloe Sullivan? Can't remember her name right now. Yeah, she was in a sex cult and she's in serious shit. So.
Okay. Thing to learn on Loki's Mornings of Mischief.
She was branding people for this guy. Like hot iron
like
branding.
Cattle?
Like cattle.
Branding?
Right above their pelvic area. So, yep. With his initials.
I don't even think that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
We're not going to go into all that on this show. They do this. They do this change. People are not receptive of it.
No.
You bring up Wonder Woman and how great Wonder Woman was. I thought Wonder Woman was great, except for the end. I was
exactly
with Boss thing, Eris.
That bad Eris choice. Nope.
Bad Aries choice.
They've given me Remus Lupin as Aries.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Because
Lupin?
I kept thinking, I knew your parents, Harry. I knew your parents, Wonder Woman.
I mean, yeah, I understand they wanted a twist. And like the general, but I was like, General Dude's Aries, right? You know, he's supposed to be a big badass war guy, you know? And it's like, no, it's the little, you know, dude that was behind the scenes. And it's like, no, that's not what Aries does, though. Like, if you know Greek mythology, Aries is not, I'm going to pull the things behind. No, he is in the front of the battle, running, and he is the god of war. He's not sitting back pulling strings. He's running head first in the battle. He would be the general, you know? He would be the person doing that. You know, that's who you would do as Aries. It's like, no, he's not going to be some, you know, pencil pusher behind the scenes, you know, with the admirals, you know, just sitting around a table. Stupid. No. Bad movie.
Lorena Creel, good morning to you, Lorena Creel. So if you look at, I liked Affleck. I'm sorry. I liked Affleck.
Oh, me too, actually. I thought he did a really good older Batman, and I have to say that fight scene, I know he didn't do it, it was a stunt double, but one of the best things of Batman v Superman was that fight scene in the warehouse with Batman. I was like, yep. That's the Batman. That's Batman. Oh yeah. And I think they should have taken that and then applied it, you know. And then you had him making jokes in Justice League. It was just kind of like, do y'all know Batman? Because Batman doesn't make jokes. He's like terrifying. He's literally the silent brooding type. Literally. And he's over here cracking jokes like, oh, I'm rich. That's my superpower. Like,
no. And the old Batman in the what was it, the Frank, oh man. I'm thinking of the comic series where he comes back as an older Batman. God, what do I want to say? Frank Herbert. Oh my God, I'm not thinking of Dune. Anyway,
I don't know.
He comes back as an old man. He has to fight Superman, and that there was a lot of connotations in there from the comic.
Okay.
And Shai brings up a good point. I was kind of disappointed in Wonder Woman, but I think it was because all the hype gave me unrealistic expectations. When you were sitting in the theater and you were watching Batman versus Superman, and you're like, this is not what I expected, and you've been let down, and then there's that moment she drops down, and it's like,
yes.
And you're like, yeah, and
exactly.
There, that was, oh yeah, you can't. Hell yeah.
I think they should have kept in Batman vs Superman. I think they should have kept it completely quiet. Like, imagine going into that theater, like, even though the movie is objectively terrible, but imagine the moment you go into the theater and you're hearing like, oh, that's Diana Prince. You know, it's like, I think I know that name. Like, oh, is that who I think it is? Is that who I think it is? And then like you have that moment when she drops down and it's like, oh, you know.
And then everybody hears about that, you know, it's in all the papers.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman kicks ass in Batman versus Superman.
What, she's in the movie? Yeah, can you imagine?
But when I heard they were going to cast Gal Gadot for that, I said, absolutely wrong decision.
Oh, me too.
Absolutely wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw her in the Fast and the Furious movie, she's like a paperclip.
Yeah, that's what I knew her from. Yeah, and I was just kind of like,
no way.
Really? Bad choice. And then I saw her in the outfit, and I was like, okay, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Lots of wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very wrong. Yeah. But
the Wonder Woman theme was great. That's the biggest thing I remember from Batman versus Superman is that damn Wonder Woman theme. And her, I did not know what to expect. And then she is taking on Doomsday like a damn champ. Mm-hmm. And we never got that. In the comic, half of the Justice League was gone on some mission in space or some shit like that. So you had like the B team Justice League and Superman. Yes, you did have Martian Manhunter, but you didn't have Green Lantern. You didn't have Wonder Woman. You didn't have Batman. you didn't have all these great. You didn't have the Flash. You didn't have all these great characters there that could have possibly made a difference. I know Wonder Woman definitely, because Doomsday steamrolled the Justice League. It wasn't just, oh, Doomsday took them on, and no, the entire B team and Superman of the Justice League were together fighting at the same time, and he dismantled them a piece at a time. And then Supergirl comes in, and she's like giving him a little kick here, a little kick there. He can't see her. She's invisible. And then he one-shotted her through a building, and she was out. That was it. Out of the fight. Superman's bleeding. His suit's torn. His cape's off on some stick in the wind. And he's like, I have to kill this guy, and I have to use every bit of everything I have.
Exactly.
And they didn't do that.
No, that the cape torn off, that's an iconic shot. Like, I know, I never read the comics, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I know that image that you just described, because it's that iconic. If if you've been around DC.
And Diga Outlaw says, sorry guys and gals, I like BBS. I did too, brother. I'm not saying I didn't.
No, I'm saying objectively, I think it's a bad movie, but I'll watch it. I
didn't like the theatrical version. I really like the extended cut. I'll do, because it connects you into, like, why she's sitting there and suddenly she sees that jar in the courthouse and she's like, Granny's peach tea. Well, there's a whole thing on her going in there to expose Lex that you don't find out. You have no idea about. She is going into the courtroom to expose Lex in front of the world that he's behind all this shit and that Superman's innocent. And then homeboy in the wheelchair comes in and kills everybody. So when she sees that jar, it's like a wake-up call to her. Oh, shit, he knows what I'm about to do. He knows I'm about to call him on his shit, and he kills them all. So they can't. So he can get away with what he's doing.
Yeah, I have to say that scene was pretty awesome. And a really messed up, really dark way, when the courthouse explodes and Superman's the only one that survives. He's just standing there because he's not affected by it. It was just kind of like, oh my God, like that's awful. That's awful.
Darth Haster says the extended cut is great. I thought so too.
I'll have to get that.
I had mixed feelings about what I saw in theater. I had mixed feelings. It wasn't what I expected it to be. I didn't like the way they made Doomsday look, but the emotion was there. The emotion, and I thought they jumped the gun on Doomsday. There should have been a build-up. Yeah,
that's kind of a Thanos almost level villain that you just one-shotted in a single movie, and it's like, no, that's not. No, you don't one-shot. What they did with Thanos is how they should have done that, and it's sad because the DCEU had that example to write. And yeah, would they have been called out a little bit for it? Just kind of like, yeah, like you're kind of copying Marvel, but.
Trey, my brother from another mother at Max Worlds Entertainment, says, I think all of them were great. Some, of course, better than others. This disdain for these movies is what I cannot handle.
I don't hate it. No, I don't hate them. I just think that there's objective filmmaking errors, and I can't turn away from that. But you put that movie on, I'll sit down and watch it. I'll enjoy it. I can find things. Like I said, I'm finding things that I enjoy. I like the courthouse scene. I think that's a really, really dark, messed up way to show that he is, to regular people, a god. Like Superman standing there while everything's exploding, and all he does, I think, if I remember the scene correctly, he just kind of dips his head down, and everyone's exploding and dying around him, and he's just kind of like, and it's a very powerful scene. But I don't like who they cast as Lex Luthor, as I just
no.
Joker, Eisenberg
or Joker, Riddler. Maybe he would have made a really good Riddler. I think.
Yes, I think he would have made a really good Riddler. You need a really big, like maybe not even. You just needed. Who would I have wanted as Lex Luthor? I don't even know if I can ask that. If I can answer that, but not him. That's what I can say.
No, hell, I really like Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville as Lex Luthor. Here's a person that grows on you, a person that you're like, man, this guy cannot become Lex Luthor. But as the show goes on, you learn to really hate him. You really learn this guy is a sick, twisted fucking person. And yes, there are reasons. There's always reasons. He had a horrible childhood. His mother killed his little baby brother in front of him, and he covered for him. Oh. He made his dad believe he did it so his dad wouldn't kill his mom because he knew. He was like, she would have been the lamb to the slaughter. I was your only living heir. You would have never done anything like that to me. You were mean to me. You beat the shit out of me. You treated me like crap, but you would have killed her. So I knew to take the blame. And the more you find out about this kid, the more you feel bad, the more you're like, damn, this is so screwed up. But then at the same time, you really do learn to hate him and learn to despise him and learn to be like, yeah, he is Lex. There even comes a point in the story where he says, I am the villain of this story. So, yeah. And it's one of those good scenes that they played over and over again in the commercials constantly. Adiga Outlaw says, there are some who say Batman was not acting in character, but some of the comics had him as the bad guy and the Joker good. There have been a lot of angles on all the DC characters. Just don't mess with my lanterns again. That's right, dude. Do not, no animated suits, please. Please.
Yeah, and give me Jon Stewart. That's who I like.
I tell you what, guys, one of the greatest, oh my God, Loki stood up in the theater and cheered moments was when I saw Deadpool 2 and he went back in time and killed himself while he was reading. Well, he killed Ryan Reynolds when he was reading the script for Green Lantern. He was like, and he sat down like all smiling and giddy with the script, and then boom, Deadpool blows his brains out. Okay, yes.
That made me laugh and laugh and laugh.
And when he killed the Deadpool and Wolverine, I stood up.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you not do to Deadpool? Shut his mouth. What did they do? I don't even consider that Deadpool. That's not Deadpool to me. Get out. No.
Alternate reality crap. So Mexican Iron Man says, I love Green Lantern. Hail Hal Jordan. Hail Hal Jordan. Hell yeah.
He's okay, but I grew up with Jon Stewart, so slight preference. So.
Oh, which one did I grow up with? He was the gold. He had gold. They took his ring away because he was too arrogant and aggressive. They took his Green Lantern ring away, and they gave him a gold ring. Hal Jordan actually gave it to him. He's like, look, I know they kicked you out of Lanterns, but here's a gold ring.
Really?
And
yellow.
Maybe it wasn't yellow because that was Sinister's. This was a gold one.
Yellow's like not like yellow. I'm not that familiar with Green Lantern, so I'll just not embarrass myself.
I haven't even read any of that in years. I don't even know.
Yeah, yellow. Yeah, I was thinking, isn't yellow the anti Green Lantern color or something? Like that's what I thought. That's why him. It's the Anyway, I don't talk about it because I forget what the yellow ring is powered by fear. No, see, I'm just not like Wonder Woman was my hero when I was younger. I adored her, still do to this day. And I love Batman too. There's a few like of the other ones. Like I love Martian Manhunter. I wish they would have brought him in. Like a real Martian Manhunter, not the stupid stuff they're doing on the CW. I don't know if you know this. I know this is supposed to be about the Snyder Cut, but I was kind of a little bit all weekend. Last week, I've been rewatching Mahler's like EFAP minis on Batwoman. And then they did, CW did Infinite Crisis. Awful, awful, awful television. Where they basically, every one of their shows, they had an episode on that kind of centered around that character. So like The Flash got one, Green Arrow got one, Batwoman got one, all of them. There's a few things that happen in there that is awful, but I think one of the most atrocious is they bring in Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller, yeah.
As Flash into there. And he's talking to the CW Flash, which seals the CW universe as being part of the DCEU forever. And I think that's like the worst thing. But then I think about what they did to Kevin Conroy in Batwoman's episode, and they made him a murdering psychopath. They made Kevin Conroy, who got to play Batman for the first time ever in live action, they made him an angry, bitter, old man murdering psychopath who's addicted to killing people. And then they went and had Batwoman kill him.
And that's supposed to be our Batman from the animated series.
Yes, that's what that is. And Kevin Conroy finally got his dream of being able to actually play Batman. And Kevin Conroy is my Batman. That's my Batman. And so I had to watch that. And I might have thrown a couple things.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. When I heard about that, I was pissed. I think I did a video about it. And of course, I came on here and ran my ass off about it. Mm-hmm. The disrespect and we don't care about what you care about. We don't care about what you care about. So what you care about isn't important anymore.
Exactly. And it comes back with people. It's like, oh, sorry. Go ahead. You have a comment up.
By the way, more racism in DC Comics. Notice there was not a Brown Lantern Corps. That's bullshit. The Brown Lanterns could have at least been in charge of the hospitality universe and intergalactic taco trucks. You're right, dude.
I would actually have loved to see that. I'm not gonna lie. That would have been hilarious.
Purple Lady says Kevin Conroy will always be my favorite Batman.
Yep.
That's the Batman I grew up with. Him and Mark Hamill as the Joker. Those were my boys.
Hold on. Resolute Germ says actually that Flash scene was to erase the DCEU. Was that what they were trying to do? Because to me, and I think anyone else who watched that, it looked like they had just sealed in the fact that the CW was canon in the DCEU universe. I didn't get the impression that they erased it. That wasn't erasure. That was confirmation to me. About that when she got hit by.
What's not to love about Batwoman? She got hit by a truck. It's everything I wanted to see.
Apparently, she was so good she quit. Yeah. So, anyway, so to the Snyder Cut.
Deadpool would be a great Brown Lantern.
Ryan Reynolds would do it too. He would do it too.
Darth Haster, did you know that the yellow ring is a reference to the King in Yellow? No, I did not, sir.
I didn't know that either.
I did not. I did not know that. I'm going to have to look that up.
Is that a Lovecraft reference then? Is that what that is? I don't know. I don't know. Someone do something. Was she the Paragon of Courage? I thought she was the Paragon. I thought Batwoman was not the Paragon of Courage. I thought she was the Paragon of Truth, but that could be wrong.
The brown rings would have been re-energized and refilled with Tapatia's hot sauce from mobile battles in Eden. God.
Oh my God.
God help us.
But anyway, they should listen to the fans.
Lori Lori brings up a good point, and I think this is where we will close it out this morning. Mm-hmm. I don't think it has to, Lori, and I don't think it needs to. This is a victory for everyone that wanted to see it, whether it's good, whether it's bad. It's a victory for everyone that wanted to see it.
Exactly.
HBO Max is going to make money off this. That's assured they're going to make money off this.
Oh, it's going to be huge. Oh yeah.
Let's talk Star Trek. I love this. Yeah, Kevin Conroy is and will always be the vengeance. I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman. Yes.
He's
yes.
so good as Batman.
So whether this is a victory, whether this is a defeat for some people, whether it's got to be absolutely badass to succeed, it has done something. People spoke out and something is getting done about it. Guys,
that opens
this
the
is
door.
what we have been asking for, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is one of those things that you'll be looking back in a few years and you're going to be like, that started this, you know, and whether or not it lives up to the hype, you know, does it matter though? Like, I hope it's good. I get a good movie out of it if it's good. But at the end of the day, it's a win. It's a win for all of us. It's a win for everyone, you know, all those people who were being told, oh, it doesn't exist, you know. And they finally get this thing that they've wanted. And I mean, nowadays companies aren't listening to the fans. And so to have a company listen to the fans, and I don't know how much y'all caught this on Twitter, but AT&T retweeted or responded to Abu Nas's song about the side cut, and they loved it. And it was like, see, that's what you do. That's huge.
That's huge.
AT&T, really? That's huge. That's the I mean, they own Warner Bros. They own DC. You know, they own all of that. And for them to be like, yeah, that's good. That right there is the beginning of something. You know. So does it matter if it's good? I mean, this is something that we've never seen. At least haven't seen for a while. This is what we want. This is what we've been wanting for a while.
And people can trash it. People can talk shit. But let me tell you guys something. Abanos, Ryan Kennel, Jeremy, Jeff from World Class Bullshitters, fucking Ethan Van Sciver.
Yeah.
Whether they like it or not, whether they like Snyder, whether they're pro Snyder, whether they don't like Snyder, Lethal Lightning, who just happened to show up in my chat. Hail, brother.
Yeah, see, that's exactly correct. The fandom won, and that's the main thing.
The fandom won.
Exactly. That's the point.
And there are going to be some salty, cryy ass little bitches.
They are. There's already articles out, and I've read a couple of them, and they're just like, it's problematic, it's bad, you know, the winning, you know, it's like, do you realize that you need the fans to make money? So you might, I don't know, cater to us every once in a while. Why don't you try that? Why don't you just, because I promise you'll make more money, but I don't think it's about money.
Let them cry and be salty ass little bitches. Damn straight, Lethal. Let them cry and be little salty ass bitches. That's what I'm talking about. Let them cry. I saw Abu respond to this guy that was like, oh, bunch of pussy ass, blah, blah, blah. I think they won something. And Abu's like, listen, you hamburger eating motherfucker. I was like, yes, Abu. Tell that son of a bitch how it works.
Yep.
This is what it's about. We won, you lost, you stay salty. We get up and cheer whether the damn movie's good, bad, sideways, byways, upways, downways, slantways, flyways. We won, you fucking lost. Suck it, Blue.
Exactly.
And on that note, we're going to close things out. But before we do that, special shout out to our little Valkyrie, starry-eyed girl. If you are out there listening, we know what the hell is going on. We've been watching, and you got backup. Shit ain't gonna go away. You got backup. You got us. You got all of us. And we stand with Starry. So,
hold on.
Anybody out there? Exactly.
All right. I forgot how to hashtag. Oh well.
We stand with starry-eyed girl. Hopefully she will make her return soon. We love you, girl. We can't wait for you to see you again. We cannot wait till you're back. Give us a shout out. Don't let these little bitches run you off anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we love you. I want to say thank you so much to Eris of Chaos, who's going to be having her premiere. Is it next weekend?
Yes, June the 6th, if I have it correctly.
June 6th.
It was supposed to be this weekend. Somebody decided to have a watch party this weekend.
Oh, yes. Last Saturday, every month.
Yes, that's my fault.
We have a watch party. And as a reminder, 5 p.m., guys, I will be tweeting it out, and I will have updates on the Patreon. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time this Saturday, Young Frankenstein, and it's going to be a hoot. And we will have Eris of Chaos and other guests on to comment on the movie as we watch the movie. So we stand with Starry. Guys, everybody, thank you so much. Max World Entertainment, Trey, my brother from another mother, Derek McManus, Samantha Joe, Lethal Lightning, Lady Miss, Rihanna Creel, Bruce Lombardo. Thank you guys so much. Starry, if you're out there, we love you, girl. Purple Lady, one of my Valkyries, Samantha Joe, my other Valkyrie, Capia Star, Happy Dinosaur 8000, Hecate's daughter. Hello, Hecate. Crimson Mist, Josh and Rebecca, Momney, Chefzilla, Psycho Dwarf Knight, Eris of Chaos. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at Eris of Chaos. Chrono Chiron, Stories by Irish. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Shia, Storm Dragon, Broken Entertainment, everybody who's still in chat, everybody out there still listening. LDG Pixels, that guy says, thank you guys so very much for being here today. And we will catch you for a double dose of Loki tomorrow as we have Mornings of Mischief and Midnight Madness. I will catch you guys there.
Bye.